Hello again. If you've watched some of my videos, I had commented numerous times that I thought that Hilary Rodham Clinton might have become a Muslim and a follower of Islam. And I was on the web cruising around, and I wanted to learn a little bit more. I wanted to see if, in fact, my other suspicion, which is that there's a mosque in the White House that was built for President Barack Hussein Obama and his many Muslim guests and cohorts. And in cruising around the web, I also found that in 1996, the First Lady, Hilary Rodham Clinton, she hosted the very first Ramadan dinner in the White House. Yeah. Yes, she did. And naturally, when Barack Hussein Obama entered the White House, he's hosted it every year since arriving. Pretty interesting, is it not? Yeah. I guess Hillary was converted before I thought she was converted. I thought that her travels with Huma Abedin. But then again, who knows how long she's been involved with Huma Abedin. The truth is, who knows anything about anything? We don't. We just know what we're told. And in most cases, what we're told isn't even remotely close to being the truth. I just thought you'd find it interesting that it was, in fact, Hilary Rodham Clinton and Billy Bob that hosted the first Ramadan dinner in the White House. Might that explain why Hillary said what she did when she was in the Rose Garden with Barack Hussein Obama when they were talking about Benghazi? And she said that Islam is a peaceful and loving religion? Is that because she's a follower of Islam? I'm sort of inclined to think so, I mean, why would you host a Ramadan dinner in 1996? Well, the reality is this thing's been in play for a very long time. I think King Abdullah has been doing this for about 55 years. He was a young man when he decided to bring about the Ottoman Empire, the return of the Ottoman Empire. What's really interesting, too, is if you take a look at the Muslim Brotherhood, in Egypt, they were sort of banned for over 30 years by President Mubarak. They resurfaced thanks to Barack Hussein Obama and the Arab Spring. And Bashar al-Assad's father in Syria had thrown them out for over 40 years. And the same pretty much in Libya. Omar Gaddafi had gotten rid of them as well. But what's interesting is, although those leaders thought they got rid of them, they didn't. They were an underground movement. No different than they are now. They're still an underground movement. They're here, they're there, and they're everywhere. What's one of the major things we've learned about these individuals other than they're ruthless and they have very little regard, if any, for human life, especially others? Well, we've learned that they're very patient. They're incredibly patient. They've waited over 40 years and they're still battling in Syria to take control of the country. And Barack Hussein Obama is doing everything that he possibly can to help them. He even wanted to launch Tomahawk missiles against Bashar al-Assad's forces, the way he did in Libya against Gaddafi's forces. Yeah, you have to ask yourself a question. What's wrong with our country when our Congress allows someone like Barack Hussein Obama to run completely amok? He has murdered American citizens with no recourse. He's murdered thousands of innocent people with drones in other countries that we're not at war with. He supplied weapons for who knows how many years to al-Mujahideen, to al-Qaeda. He's funded al-Qaeda. He's funding the Brotherhood. They are the ones that took down the Twin Towers. Not the Brotherhood, but al-Qaeda. Where are they from? Saudi Arabia. It all goes back to Saudi Arabia. King Abdullah. Everything sits right at King Abdullah's feet. Obama is the lapdog for King Abdullah. Remember the bombing that took place in the Boston Marathon? Remember that young prince that was under armed guard because he was injured during the bombing? And remember what we learned about him thanks to Glenn Beck. Yeah, he was on the terrorist watch list. He was on the no-fly list. But what happened to him? Well, he got whisked back to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. How can you get whisked back to Saudi Arabia when you're on the no-fly list? Well, the answer to that question is, how could extremist Muslims come to visit Obama at the White House? Well, special visas were made available. By whom? By Barack Hussein Obama's criminal and dysfunctional administration. What amazes me is that he continues to get away with pretty much everything, including murder of American citizens. Nothing happens to him. Nothing. Our government has been so infiltrated with radical extremist Muslims, there's no stopping them. The only ones that can haven't yet, and are certainly running out of time. There isn't a lot of time left. What has to happen in the United States is the same thing that happened in Egypt. The military that have all sworn an oath to protect us from all enemies, both foreign and domestic, better get to it, because there's not a whole lot of time left.